Hey friends, hope you're doing well. The footage that you just saw was yesterday. I was out at the farm harvesting for the CSAs. We got some beautiful bouquets put together. It's nice to have a lot of flowers to do this. It's been 97, 98 degrees every day for a week. And so I've only been working in the early mornings until I can't take it anymore. It's funny, I was an archaeologist in Central America for a long time and was very used to working in triple digit temperatures all day long out in the direct sun. It never really bothered me. Now, over the last few years, I can't take it. And I learned recently that if you are on specific medications, and I'm on an SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, whatever they stand for, that can affect your ability to deal with the heat. So that makes a lot more sense to me. I just can't tolerate the heat anymore, not that kind of heat. So it is currently 11 o'clock and it is 88 degrees outside Fahrenheit. Hopefully we won't get much warmer than that. It's supposed to start cooling down tomorrow. Oh, these wasps. So what I'm doing out here now, go away. I'm hoping to get as much of the garden cleaned out as possible. I'm trying to move out of the way. They bite. I'm just going to start working on the rest of the garden here. Also this afternoon in the garage where I'll be out of the sun, I'm going to start building the cages for these beds. Let me show you the kind of destruction I'm talking about when it comes to what these rodents are doing out here. So these are what's left of some very large zucchini plants. And you can see just gnawed on and all the leaves pulled off. I mean, they just destroy things. It is maddening. The traps that are being set by the pros are tripped every night and they come out every day and replace them. But again, not gonna be able to keep up. Still debating the cat idea. So this is the reason that I'm gonna be building cages for these beds. The idea is that I'm going to take 1/4 inch hardware cloth and basically make a big loop over the top of these cages, a big hoop, sink it down the sides into the soil, and then do the same thing on the front. Now, because these beds have rounded corners, I'm going to have to be creative when I create this hoop, because if there is even a little bit of soil where they can climb over the top and get there, they will dig underneath. So I'm going to have to be really, really good at making this fit like a glove. That's one of the reasons that I want uniformity in all the beds I'm going to build for this long stretch here. They're all going to be exactly the same size so that I can make, so there'll be 1, 2, 3, 6. There'll be 6 beds here that are all the same size, same dimensions, and I can make 6 of those cages. Then I'll have 3, 4 beds that are oddly shaped from those, and so I'll have to come up with something. Now the round bed, that has also been decimated. That one actually will be easier because I'm just going to put, a hoop around the hole inside of the bed, sink it down deep, and then I'll cover it with a lid of the hardware cloth. So I'll just have to cut out a circle that fits on top and I will wire it all together. I'm going to use wire to attach all these instead of zip ties, although I might start with zip ties initially, but I'm going to basically sew them together with wire because the zip ties over time with the UV light will degrade and then they'll get holes and they'll start to fall apart and then we'll struggle with that. So I do want to basically weave these together with wire. I have some, but not enough. So initially I may have to use some zip ties, but that's fine. I can always over the winter continue to work on getting these things all zipped up with wire. So yeah, big project. I'm going to need help, but definitely anything I do has to have a lid because they can climb up and in. So as evidence from all the destruction in my beds. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling all of this stuff out. The green bin just got emptied this morning, which is great. So yeah, this is all tomato plants. If I left them, they might produce a little bit more, but again, our shade issue in this garden is becoming pretty dire, and it's just they're not getting enough sun. So they don't even get as lush and big as they should in the heat of summer. So shade is another thing we'll have to tackle in the early spring. But for now, mostly what I'm going to do is just completely empty out the garden of all the edible things, and have to do that over here too. This is mostly spurge, and spurge is poisonous, and so of course they don't eat that. But they did already eat all of my artichokes. It's fine, the artichokes will come back, but yeah, it's frustrating. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I need to keep moving because these stupid wasps like to land and take bites. So if it wasn't so hot, I'd go put on a long sleeve shirt. Okay, cleaned out. It's very hot. I'm done for being outside for right now. You know, seeing all this, it looks like so much potential. It's just, I'm reminded very quickly how easily it gets destroyed. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, go get something to drink and eat, and then start building the other beds that go here in this row, and then getting the building the, you know, the giant metal cloches that are going to cover them, because I do have seedlings that need to go in. I do have this bed over here where I took a shot at direct sowing a bunch of stuff, and of course it got immediately hot. and nothing germinated, and that's okay. That is a fully prepared bed. And of course, nothing has eaten through the netting yet because there's nothing living in there. So I do have that bed, which I probably should use first because it is in the sun for all the seedlings that I have in the greenhouse. However, only a few of them will fit in there because it's like cabbage and broccoli and stuff, and they need a lot of space. I might only put 2 seedlings in there, maybe 2 cabbages. So I think what I'll do is make my first cage that one, which is a different size from the others, but it's already ready, right? The bed is prepared, it's ready. I also have this bed behind me that is prepared and ready, but it is more shaded during the day. And then we have this bed over here, which is quite large, needs obviously a cage and a lot more compost on top to kind of refurbish it. I'm going to rerun the irrigation as well. I'm going to redo how that's done. But yeah, that one I can make a cage for as well. And that's also planting space. So at this point, it's just about creating the infrastructure. And the good news is having a couple beds already that I can put some things in is great. I am going to put my onions in the ground. I have open space in the ground where there's not going to be any beds, where there's artichokes, which are not up right now. And then there's an open space, then the bed, then an open space, and then this other bed that I just showed you. And I'm going to put the onions in there. And, you know, if they get eaten, they get eaten. Onions are less important to me and less tasty generally to rodents. So that's the plan there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get some water and go have something to eat. And then we'll start building in the garage. I will come out and I'll measure and get the dimensions for this bed that I just showed you, and that'll be our first guinea pig construction. See how it goes. I'm hoping I can fit the irrigation tubing through the 1/4-inch mesh. I think I can because it's 1/4-inch tubing, but it might be a fight. We'll see. Yeah, all right. I'm going to get started on that stuff after my break and see how far we can get today. Change of plan. So I went inside to get something to drink. Did not eat. My stomach's upset, so I think I'm just going to stick with water. But the box from Mountain Crest Gardens arrived. I did order more succulents because a lot of the ones in the pots that are out on the patio got eaten by rodents, and those pots are almost empty. So I ordered more, and the rodent situation on the front porch on the back patio and everything is way better than it is in the front garden. So, and so far, no intrusion in the greenhouse. Continue to keep your fingers crossed. Anyway, so I figured we could unbox this together, and then I'm going to be done for the day. I think the heat's getting to me because I'm just not feeling that great. So let's open this box, see what's in there. I only ordered it a couple days ago, and now I already forgot what I ordered. But I only have a few succulents left from the original stuff, and so it's time to replenish this stuff before it goes undercover in a couple months for the winter. And so, yeah, now's the time to do it. First, that's all we've got left from the original shipment. So, did pretty good. I used pretty much everything. Okay. In this box. Hopefully it didn't get all tossed around in the mail and things are not completely messed up in here. We shall see. They do a great job of packing it, but there's only so much you can do if the boxes get thrown around. So, okay. Got a thank you 10% off sticker, which is always nice. Let me get some trays. So we can pop these guys in. Also trying to limit the mess I make because the greenhouse is so nice and clean. So I don't want to spray stuff everywhere. Here, I think what we'll do here is get this out. Make sure there's nothing over here. Oh, yep, there are a few bitties over here. Okay, so let's get to these first. I will use all of this stuff in the birdie's beds up front as a... There's definitely somebody in here. Okay, so this guy is sedum blue jelly bean. Definitely pretty. Empty out some of this stuff here so that I don't make a mess in the greenhouse. I'm just enjoying it being so nice and clean. I don't want to make a mess just yet. I was very careful the other day when I was sowing seeds not to get soil everywhere. I just love how clean the gravel is right now. Yeah, they've done a great job of packing these. Hardly any soil anywhere, which is awesome. I'm trying to see. Okay, what did I get? This is a custom succulent pack. They're all 2-inch pots. I don't think there are any cacti in here. We'll find out as I'm digging in here with ungloved hands, but I don't think there are. I think this is all succulents. Okay. I really love the reds and blues in succulents, and so I tend to want to get more and more of those. I'm trying to find an easy one to start with where I won't break something off. These are in here really tightly. Whoop, yep, see, I took it out of its pot. Okay, it does not look like these are going to have tags. So you'll just get to look at how pretty they are. And I think in this collection it was like 3 of each variety. Often they'll give you a map of how it's packed, so you know what the varieties are, but I don't see one in here. It's hard to do this without breaking things off. There we go. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, this is going to be so nice. That, like I said, the succulent containers that are on the patio right now are just looking so rough. Things just got mowed down. There wasn't much left but little sticks on some of them. So annoying. Okay. Oh, very pretty. This one I think is the same. It's got a broken petal, but that's all right. These I love, but they definitely show your fingerprints, so you got to be careful when don't want to touch them too much. So this is a lot of the blues. Look how cute. It's so funny. It is so hot outside right now, but there's a breeze, which is a blessing, because that does help, even though it's really hot. Also, a little bit scary last night, we had dry thunderstorms move through. If you don't, this is really cool. If you don't know what a dry thunderstorm is, it is what it sounds like. It is a thunderstorm with lightning, usually striking the ground, and there is no rain with it. And the thing that sucks about it is that they always hit us towards the very end of our dry season and spark fires. And because then the lightning hits the dry ground, and then that's it. A couple of these I will sit in soil to repot. So I haven't heard about any fires from last night's or early morning's dry thunderstorms, but it's very nerve-wracking when that happens, because you don't know until you start reading the news how many fires were tipped off by that. It's just like when I lived in the Midwest, and I felt like every time there was a tornado warning, it was always in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and you get up, you hear the sirens, and there's no electricity, so you can't check the TV to see what's happening, where the storm is, what's going on. Yeah, it's that same kind of feeling. I definitely do not miss living in Tornado Alley. I have been through 3 tornadoes in my life. Thankfully, nothing major happened in any of those. We actually got to a safe place, but one of them was real close. Let me get one more tray here. So pretty. So nice to see these. And now I'm really excited to fix all the mangy looking pots. I used the majority of the last of my previous succulents to build a succulent garden for some friends for a housewarming a week or so ago. And so then I started looking at what I've got on the patio and thought, ugh, they are rough. Let's see what we can do about that. And these guys were having a big sale. It was a Labor Day sale, so I went ahead and ordered some. All right, so there they are. All the succulents in this most recent haul. I think they're so pretty. And now I'm super excited to start working on fixing the damage that has been done. Okay, so today is supposed to be the last really hot day. I mean, it's still going to be in the low 80s, but that is great compared to the hundreds. So I think we'll be able to get back to work tomorrow, either at the farm where there a lot of stuff needs to be done, or here in the front garden. I think, based on the look of these seedlings, like here's the red acre cabbage, you know, these guys are going to need to go out very soon. So I think what we'll do is we'll stay here. I'll get those cloches built and and at least one of those beds is already, you know, filled, so I can at least plant some of these seedlings that are ready to go out, and then we can just keep working on the others. I think I'm going to need some help, so I'm going to ask for Dylan's help to build those birdies beds, and then also to like start cutting out all the hardware cloth. I got 2 new fence tools, tin snips basically, and it'll be great because the old ones were really dull and hard to use, and I think this is going to make the process a whole lot easier. So it'll be less effort, I'm hoping. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.